Happy holidays, everyone, from all of us at 2K Sports. Thanks for joining us at this most special time of the year. In this game, we'll see the Boston Celtics going up against the Indiana Pacers. With Grant Hill and Clark Kellogg, I'm Brian Anderson. Allie LaForce is our reporter. And now in December, here's what the Eastern Conference standings look like. Taking a look at Boston, they're in 5th place, right in the middle of the conference. Still time to improve that positioning. And of course, Indiana, currently a ways below.
When I look at Indiana, there's no doubt they feel the pressure mounting. I mean, failing to match those expectations from the start of the year is apparent.
And, you know, any fixes they've tried during the season have only compounded their problems.
And now Indiana's starting group. Nesmith and Siakam are the forwards. T.J. McConnell is out there with Tyrese Halliburton. And it's Zubats in at the 5, roaming the paint. And for the Celtics, their backcourt, Pritchard and White. At the forward spots, the talented pair of Brown and Tatum. And it's Vucevic in at the center position. And Grant, one thing we know about these teams, they can both go deep into their bench. That's a luxury.
Yeah, a luxury indeed. And they don't have to worry as much about foul trouble or guys getting worn down. Credit to both front offices for building such complete rosters.
Tatum from long range.
Oh,
rebound
come on.
by Nesmith. A moment to hear from Allie LaForce.
Well, I had a chance to talk with head coach Joe Mazzulla. He talked about the growth of Tyrese Halliburton as a player. Coach's eyes lit up, saying, I'm in awe of the steps that he's made. The vision and the scoring was always there, but now the decision-making has gone to another level. It makes life harder playing against him, but as a fan of the league, you love to see it. Everyone is a fan. Brian?
Thank you for that, Allie. Now here's Siakam, putting up 23 points per game. He's proved how reliable a threat he is.
Nice touch there from Siakam to get a hard bucket inside.
Left side, Tatum. Vucevic, a screen on Siakam. There's Tatum with the 3. It's rebounded by Zubats.
Given his range, you'd expect him to capitalize on that opening.
And Graham, while most didn't expect it, last season the Pacers made the 2nd NBA Finals appearance in their franchise's history.
Yeah, B.A., there's so much belief right now in that locker room. They never feel like they're out of a game, and that makes them dangerous.
And Siakam with the slam.
Well, I'll tell you what, Siakam going to the rim is
got
like a
something in my
moth
eye.
going to the flame. You can't keep them away.
And here's Tatum. Last game for him, he had 14. Three-pointer. Counted from distance.
Really smooth release from Tatum on that 3. Makes that shot look effortless.
White against Halliburton. Lets it go from deep. Fires in the triple.
5 of 5 to start the game, and it might be the 2nd quarter before they miss. The way they're knocking these shots down, boy, everything's pure.
Brown with a screen. And he's going for the oop here. Throw it down on the lob.
I love seeing players connect like this. Brown excels at knowing when to go for alley-oops.
And so it's Indiana with it. 4-point game. Here's McConnell. 3-pointer, Halliburton. And the shot's off. 1 for 2 in this one. Pritchard surviving the D. Left side, Tatum. And you can
All right, and
He'll
one.
go to the line with a chance at a 3-point play.
Tell you what, that's impressive strength there from Tatum.
Nice.
You got to respect that. Even when you try to wrap him up, he finds a way to score.
Boston shooting their first foul shot of the night. And so Joe Mazzulla decides to call a timeout. He'll take the opportunity to regroup. So both teams making some changes here. All right, we look at our 2K leaderboard for assist. Numbers from the past month of play. In the 3rd spot, Tyrese Halliburton.
His teammates trust that if they get open, he will find them. They're really in a groove right now.
A young man who has an appetite for greatness, always pushing himself is Jason Tatum.
Here's Walker, up and in on the layup.
They're not messing around. 5 of their last 6 buckets have come from the interior.
Let's check in with our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Thanks, Brian. Tyrese Halliburton is so key for this team. He said, quote, "I think the biggest pressure I've ever had in my entire life is from myself. When I'm at my best is when I'm having fun and really competing on a nightly basis. I have to show up every day with a smile on my face and bring my infectious personality." Brian, back to you.
He sets the tone. Okay, thanks for the report, Allie. They set the pick. On the wing, Tatum. Pass to Brown. Just 4 to shoot. From 18 feet away. Oh, and that one had the right spin on it. It's good. Brown's got his second bucket on the night.
Brown has a nice shot repertoire. Clearly, the mid-range doesn't give him much trouble.
Pass to Halliburton. Back to Toppin. Fires the 3. The rebound by Jason Tatum. The Celtics with the lead. They've been taking care of business.
Especially at the offensive end, where they've been totally insane.
Picked by Vucevic. And here's Brown for 3. And the rebound goes to the Pacers. They're moving on after the tough loss at the hands of the Pelicans.
I actually thought their execution at times was excellent, but they failed to come through in those important moments.
You know, it's never easy trying to win away from home. They were close, but just needed a little more push at the end.
Picked by Vucevic. And so it's Jason Tatum making highlights for Boston. 8 points in the quarter, showing how effective he can be. We'll be back in a moment. Good action already in this one, but a fairly even matchup after this first quarter of play. And for the Celtics here, guys, what jumps out to you stat-wise?
Well, you have to imagine they're feeling pretty confident the way things have gone.
I agree with you. I mean, they hit the ground running, had a strong start to the game that they're hoping they can manage the rest of the way.
Halliburton's gotten just 1 of his 4 attempts from the floor tonight. They've got Peyton Pritchard, and it's Queta in at the center position, filling out the middle. That's who's in the game for the Celtics. 3-pointer Pritchard. And Toppin pulls it down. And Siakam has got the ball here for the Pacers. They trail by 1. Toppin finds Walker. Back to Toppin. And a slam dunk by Toppin.
When he's this close to the rack, that's exactly what he's looking to do. Slam it down. Well done, Toppin.
Pass to Queta. Here's Shireman. There's a screen. Here's Queta. And he slams it in one-handed.
And plays like that one can make the difference in a close game.
And it definitely got the bench on their feet, too.
Making a statement for sure. I mean, we'll see if they can maintain that aggressive approach, guys.
Here's Toppin after the basket by Boston. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for 1 more. All right, guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for the Pacers.
Everything working for them inside so far, guys. Tons of high-quality shots that they're knocking down inside.
And from the jump, they've also clearly been focused on running effective plays here tonight. And there's been a lot of high-quality distribution from them on the floor.
That's good from Toppin. And for offensive players, they say that understanding angles gives a big advantage. Can you elaborate on that a little bit, Clark?
I think I can, B.A., a little bit. When you think about the geometry of the game, angles, spacing, timing, those things are not what you would think about when you think geometry, but how you cut, how you move, when you move, get to the basket, all of that stuff is part of the geometry of the game.
Now here's White. Yet to see a basket. Comes up empty from 19 feet out.
Clean look from mid-range. Coach will probably want to run that play again.
Siakam. Oh, he gets it to go. So far, he can't miss. He's 4 for 4.
We've seen that more than once today. An effortless basket inside.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
Three-pointer, Pritchard. The putback. Great positioning on the putback.
Those second chance buckets are major bonus points if you can get them.
Indiana leading. And timeout called by Rick Carlisle. And we might see some changes. Coach potentially looking to adjust. Tatum, he's checked in for Boston. Jaylen Brown comes in for Hauser. Then for Indiana, Ivica Zubac's checked in for Toppin. Tyrese Halliburton comes in for Shepherd. And it's McConnell in for Walker. Siakam outside. Pass to Halliburton. This one for 3. That drops. And it comes off an assist from Siakam. Halliburton's got 6.
As fast as lightning, Halliburton gets it and shoots it in a matter of nanoseconds.
You know, Grant, for a guy who started playing basketball at age 17, Siakam has put together quite the resume.
Yeah, B.A. Pascal is a champion. He's got multiple All-Star and All-NBA selections, and one of the great developmental stories when you think about his discovery through basketball without borders.
Gives us a chance to catch up with Allie LaForce.
Hey, Brian. Well, the Pacers are moving as one. Coach Rick Carlisle said the thing I love about this team is that we're a true team. We're a group that needs each other. We work at communication. We're collaborative. We make sure our guys have a voice, and we're all in it together. Back to you guys.
They win by committee. Thank you very much for the report, Allie. Three-pointer, Halliburton. Another miss by Halliburton.
So bad.
Boston's gone 1 for 3 from downtown here in the second. And out of bounds, Boston will have it. With this break, let's bring up the teams who've been clicking offensively over the last month. Number 1, Boston.
It's been a long month for anybody who plays these guys. I mean, they've been shooting the lights out, and it's been game after game after game.
And so Joe Mazzulla calls the timeout. He's going to talk it over with his guys. He's checked in for Indiana. Neesmith comes in for Nembhard.
Give them a hand, fans. Your dance team.
And it's Tatum with the ball for the Boston Celtics. Trailing by 2. To the middle. Here's Keita. Oh, that doesn't go on the chance to tie. And Neesmith, here we go. Puts up a 3.
The favorite team, Boston
Despite
Celtics.
his shooting woes, they're still up. That bodes well if he can somehow get things turned around.
They're playing right now against the Dallas Mavericks.
It's Brown on the wing, defended by Halliburton. Big hit from outside, Jaylen Brown.
I'm gonna go watch again after
Early on,
this.
Brown
After
struggled with
this
his
stream.
confidence taking threes. Now he's a knockdown threat.
Pass to Halliburton. Toppin, a screen on White. Three-pointer, Halliburton gets it to go. 3 makes 9 attempts.
But the defense
Oh, yeah.
not doing a good job at all of getting after him. They've got to crowd him and make it tough for him.
Let's see how
That's
he
his
does.
second this quarter.
Yep.
There's 31 seconds left in the first half of basketball. Outside, Brown. Tatum against Toppin. 5 on the clock. There's the triple. The rebound by Neesmith. White against McConnell. Here's Halliburton. And here's Toppin from the arc. And again, it's Indiana with a 3.
Showing great poise. Passes up his own shot for something better.
And here's Brown for 3. That misses. Would have counted had it gone. And the first half comes to an end. We've got a close game going here. The Pacers out in front, leading by 5. Let's send it courtside and check in with Allie LaForce. Allie, what do you have?
I'm here with Coach Rick Carlisle. Coach, what's the message that you're going to deliver to the guys in the locker room?
You know, we just got to maintain energy. We're playing against a team that's a really good team. We got to keep turnovers down. We got to rebound.
Energy is something you can control. Thanks, Coach.
All right, Allie, thanks for that. We will see everyone right back after this break, ready for the second half.
Oh, nice.
And thank you for joining us, as with 2 quarters in the books, it's looking good for the Indiana Pacers.
Well, they're executing well, and that's been the difference.
Yeah, they know where their bread is buttered, and they go back to it over and over again. And let's move on to the Eastern Conference standings. The true contenders are beginning to stand out.
Taking a look here at Indiana. They hear the clock. Trying to coast through the season straight into the playoffs? Not how it works, fellas. They don't have the talent to pull that off. The effort has got to be there.
And that's a wrap on halftime. Thanks for watching as we send you back to BA to call the second half.
In that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during halftime. And you know, Jason Tatum, he's been really making it happen, guys.
You just love his patience offensively in the first half. Waited until he got the looks he wanted.
Well, you know what, guys? It was all about efficient offense, not rushing things, taking your time, finding the best shot on every possession.
Celtics trail by 5. Second half underway. Here's who Rick Carlisle's got on the floor. Nesmith and Siakam are the forwards. Halliburton is out there with T.J. McConnell, and it's Zubats in at the 5.
Strong and explosive Jaylen Brown is a tough matchup in the painted area.
And it's slammed in by Zubats.
Attacking the rim with power.
Tremendous finish.
Really piling on the lead with a dunk like that.
And few players are more valuable to their teams than Tyrese Halliburton, Grant.
Yeah, he leads the way for them, B.A. An efficient scorer, elite playmaking, and disruptive defensively. And, of course, he makes clutch plays at both ends.
Now here's White. No points so far. Vucevic gets the bucket.
Comfortable operating near the basket. Vucevic has size plus touch. That's a nice recipe for scoring in multiple ways.
McConnell passes to Halliburton. Off target from outside. Boston trailing. Outside Tatum. Jacks up a 3. Jason Tatum! He's a sharpshooter!
3 straight buckets to start the half. This is how they wanted to come out and execute.
McConnell looking around. Halliburton outside. Siakam with a screen on White to the inside. Jaylen Brown with a rebound.
Well, you gotta miss sometimes, but that one seemed like a gimme.
And unable to get the go-ahead bucket there.
Only their first miss in 4 attempts. It's been a great start to the half.
Boy, I really like the focus and force there from Siakam to fight through the contact. Give himself a chance to tack on a free throw.
Two. Looking back at the start of his career, Siakam only took a year or 2 to make his mark.
And, you know, B.A., he's just the kind of guy we love watching play. I mean, you know what you're going to get from him every night. Tremendous effort and the ability to impact the game at both ends. He's consistent, reliable, steady, and he can be explosive at the offensive end.
Now here's Pritchard. He's averaging about 6 points per game. Oh, the long arm of the law.
Tatum hanging around the basket. He got the board and bucket.
And timeout called by Rick Carlisle. Coach taking this moment to speak to his guys. Maybe alter some of the game plan.
First and assists, and in transition, they've been one of the best teams in the league. They're top 5 in fast break points. They've got a lot of speed, and they use it to their advantage.
And we've talked about the beautiful game before. When you think of that term, great ball movement, team chemistry, they both come to mind. And these guys exemplify both to a T with how many assists they rack up. Pass to Neesmith. Some nice passing by Indiana here. The 3-ball. It's good. And give the assist to Siakam. Siakam's got 3 assists in the game.
That's been typical of their performance today. They're sharing the ball and creating good shots.
Really a prime example of the difference in how these teams have operated offensively. Much more individual play at the other end.
That's how you up the ante. Come right back at them.
A little back and forth from long range. I love it. That's a terrific answer there.
Well, we're into the third quarter, just over 2.5 minutes played. Here's Tatum, and Boston again with the bucket.
All game long, he's been getting to his spots, and the defense has yet to adjust.
Indiana trailing here. McConnell outside. Siakam outside. Over Tatum. Siakam, no good.
He's been off this whole period, unable to sustain any kind of consistency.
Pritchard, the pass to Vucevic, and he floats it in for the easy 2. Credit the sweet setup on that one.
In a tight game, they wanted to make sure of that possession.
A little under 3.5 minutes off the clock now in the third quarter. Siakam outside. Zubac with a screen on Tatum to the paint, looking to win the run, and it's slammed in by Zubac.
Well, he is a legit 7 feet tall, so how hard can it be for Zubac to find the rim? I mean, he's already up there.
And so Joe Mazzulla decides to call a timeout. Coach probably just checking to make sure everybody's on the same page here. Boston making a switch here. Hauser's checked in. So Indiana going with an almost entire new group here. Huff's checked in for Zubac. Toppin comes in for Pascal Siakam. Walker, he's checked in for Neesmith. And Andrew Nembhard subbed in for McConnell. Just over 3.5 minutes through the third. Vucevic, a screen on Walker. Pass to Vucevic. And the shot is good on the assist by Tatum. Vucevic has got 6.
Man, I love watching Tatum break down the defense in the pick and roll, exploits any passing lane that's available to him.
Pacers trail by 3. Halliburton with the ball. Pritchard picks him up. Halliburton, good.
And his fantastic performance from the last game has carried over to tonight.
And you know that's how it goes with him. I mean, his hot streaks, guys, don't last minutes. They last days.
Now here's Brown. 9 points in the game. Nails it from 3.
And in the second half here, they're shooting a terrific percentage from 3.
No question about it. They found a nice rhythm from deep.
3-pointer, Halliburton. Halliburton nails the 3.
Most of these guys in the league love the three-point answer. Halliburton is no exception.
Vucevic, a screen on Nembhard. And here's Brown for 3. Huff pulls it in.
The battle of the boards has been something to watch.
Yeah, tit for tat on the glass. Just one more aspect of what's been a very closely contested ball game here. Tell you what, guys, this has clearly been his half. And he's getting to a spot, shooting the ball with confidence. Excellent turnaround.
Vucevic, a screen on Walker. There's Tatum with the 3. Pacers with a rebound. Halliburton with the ball. A deep 3. No good. Misses at the buzzer. Tyrese Halliburton getting it done for Indiana. Hit a couple from downtown this quarter. We'll be right back after this word. And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
Talk about painting a magnificent picture with that dime. Just a great decision and a perfect delivery.
And they'd love to see every possession end this way. True team basketball.
And with 3 quarters behind us, we'll start the 4th in what is still anybody's ball game. White and Brown are the wingmen. Then it's Sam Hauser, and it's Cada in at the 5 spot. That's the Boston 5.
No hesitation. Nice work by Walker, not overthinking it.
It's Brown on the wing. Walker covering. Brown passes to Hauser. And that one off the back of the rim and in. Hauser's got his first basket of the night.
Win or lose, this is the fight you want to see from your players.
Yeah, you know what? I agree. I mean, they're showing a bunch of fortitude here, keeping this game tight.
Gets the 3 ball to go.
They're getting torched on the perimeter. 4 of the last 5 buckets have been threes.
It's hard for me to watch this. I mean, the defense practically giving them those shots.
Here's Gonzalez. There's a screen. Fires the 3. He drops it from range. Gonzalez has gotten himself going here. His first points of the game on the deep ball. And it's Rick Carlisle calling timeout here, rallying his guys to make sure they all know the plan. Tyrese Halliburton's checked in for Furphy. All right, let's check in with Allie LaForce.
Well, over the break, I listened in on Rick Carlisle's huddle. He told them, this is the passion I want us to play with every night. Now, my question is, how are we going to finish? Are we going to be passive, or are we going to take what's ours? Guys, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Allie. A little over a minute of the 4th quarter gone now. Halliburton outside. Down low. Nice job inside from Siakam.
A long swing player. Siakam uses that 6'9" length down low.
White looking it over. For 3. And the Celtics another 3.
Here in the second half, their offense has been strong. Great ball movement, really working well for clean looks.
Walker passes to Halliburton. Tried to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. The Celtics have gone a perfect 3 for 3 here in the 4th. Out of bounds, it'll be Indiana's ball, and Indiana with some changes. Zubats, he's checked in for Toppin. Neesmith comes in for Walker, and it's McConnell in for Nembhard. Now here's McConnell. Now Siakam. 5 to shoot.
Pascal using that frame to get the position that he wants and draw the foul.
All right, a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from here for the Pacers.
Well, you know, for me, the passing has been fantastic all night. Everybody loves watching this style of basketball where the ball moves and players move. Coaches, fans, and even us broadcasters can appreciate that kind of action.
Another thing they're doing well tonight is shooting from long distance. All game long, they've been finding openings at the perimeter.
Boy, you've really got to admire and appreciate the reliability of a guy like Siakam. You know, he understands his game inside and out, knows his strengths and weaknesses, and because of that, I think he's able to contribute to his team in multiple ways.
I tell you, a little extra pressure on D when you're up against a point guard who can elevate.
It doesn't make it easy, does it?
And you know, guys, showing how dynamic a weapon he is for this offense, they feed off of that energy and ability to make plays. It gets them going.
McConnell against Pritchard. Siakam! Wow, Siakam showing the range.
Siakam embraces stepping up in these moments. That is a big-time move.
Pritchard against McConnell. He launches. Zubats pulls it down. Pacers leading by 5. Halliburton with the ball. Guarded by Vucevic. This is the 3! For Boston, they've gotten 4 shots out of 6 attempts to drop so far in the 4th. Here's Pritchard. Outside Tatum. Vucevic, a screen on Siakam. Jason Tatum! He's off from 3. The Pacers have gotten 5 of their 7 shots to fall in this final quarter. And it's Halliburton! Gets it to go inside.
Tyrese Halliburton, take a bow, young fella. You deserve it. You have been outstanding.
And Joe Mazzulla has called timeout. He wants to make sure everyone is aligned, given the situation right now. Siakam against Tatum. Here's the pass to Brown. Ooh, anticipated the pass. It's a turnover. Here's Halliburton. McConnell outside. Now Halliburton. Shot clock at 6. Cash from downtown.
And guys, that's got to be the dagger. This is how you finish a game.
Yeah, what a time to put the hammer down. Any hope of a comeback? Diminished.
How did they do that?
It's one thing to get
How did
outplayed, but when you're giving away possessions like this, it makes it even more tough.
10-point lead. This is their biggest of the game. Now Zubac.
Zubac getting physical and drawing the whistle. That's how you use your size.
Personal foul. Second team foul. At the line for the Pacers, Ivica Zubac.
First one falls for him. That one misses, so he goes 1 for 2.
He did enough to put this one away. Hard-fought battle, though.
We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Another chance. Zubac pulls it down. So it's the Pacers taking care of business in this one. Exceptional effort on the road. They were ready and they were focused.
Focused indeed. I mean, it takes a strong mental approach to block out the distractions. These guys stepped up 100%.
And Allie LaForce has something for us on the sidelines. Hey, Allie.
Pascal, these days you are called upon to carry this team. Does that bring added pressure?
This is a game that I love, and I just want to have fun playing the game. And I think, you know, I got to just be myself. Like, don't get lost in everything going on. Be yourself. Play basketball, have fun. And, you know, I'm just happy to be able to go out there and play hard.
Guys, he wants the pressure. Thanks, Pascal.
All right, Allie, good stuff there. Thanks for that. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Grant Hill, Allie LaForce, and Clark Kellogg, this is Brian Anderson thanking you all for tuning in tonight. And time now to introduce our player of the game, Tyrese Halliburton.
PlayStation